Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday, and then on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. We appreciate you joining us. Now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go. Hello, here you are. Hopefully, not for the first time, to another episode of Waywut. And if it is your first time, welcome. You're probably in for some uncomfortable humor occasionally, and vulgarity, and old men. The usual.
Yeah.
My name is Darrell, and I am going to be taking the lead on this episode today. And here I am with the guy that Googles ways to make sure that his ghost will someday haunt his local post office. Jason.
They have actually gotten better, believe it or not. They have fired that lady, and we have been yeah. I don't know if they fired her, put it that way. They have a new person on the route, and she's been pretty good.
I was going to say, because I know it is hard to fire a federal employee. Yeah. It is not an easy task. Well, then I will. I'll probably have to come up with new jokes now. So,
that joke was a couple months ago. Yeah.
My ending joke about the post office will be the last one. So.
Okay, just take what back I said. Mailbox sucks. Still getting bad mail. Here we
go. Today I'm going to start things off with a silence rant. We always hear about pervert criminals that get caught, and all these people start coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, this guy dilled me or whatever 10 years ago. And then people start saying, if you hadn't have stayed silent, then the later victims wouldn't have been victimized. And, we start getting all these PSAs saying, don't stay silent if something happens. Now, personally, I'm not going to condemn anybody for keeping quiet about that kind of abuse because I've never been in that circumstance. I can only imagine how terrible it would be. I'm just bringing it up as an example that in the absolute worst possible instances, people will stay quiet to protect themselves and their credibility. Now, with that being the case, I find myself wondering how many people are keeping quiet about paranormal experiences.
A lot.
They encounter something life-altering. They're worried that people aren't going to believe them. I mean, no one likes telling some crazy story that happened to them and nobody believing them. I mean, in my own experience, when I was 15 years old and I was deer hunting, I saw a mountain lion. No one at our deer lease had ever seen a mountain lion out there before. And since I shot at it and missed, I didn't have any evidence. And so people didn't really believe me that I saw a mountain lion. It sucked. And I find myself wishing I just never even told anybody. More so I wish that I
or shot it,
killed it. But yeah, it's easier to just pass the buck. Just say, all right, I'm not going to deal with this. Maybe someday someone else will encounter it and they'll be able to prove it. Or maybe they'll just be braver and be able to endure the scrutiny better than I can. I mean, think about it. If you walk into your bedroom at night and you see the floating head of Michael Jackson telling you to stop drinking energy drinks, that's going to affect you deeply.
Yeah, I really like energy drinks.
You're going to have insight into the mystery of what comes after death. And you'll probably give up Red Bulls. You might spend the rest of your life afraid to get naked because Michael Jackson's ghost could be watching. Forget about self-stimulated release. Well, unless you're into that kind of thing. Ooh, watch this, Michael. And he's like, oh, no, you're way too old. All right. I won't claim that every single paranormal experience would be life altering. My personal ghost experience that I described in the previous episode did not alter my life. I mean, I just had a bed that I was laying on shake for about 15, 30 seconds, somewhere around there. I didn't see anything. And if someone gave me some reasonable scientific explanation, I would probably just accept that and say, yeah, it was probably that instead of a ghost.
Yeah.
So let's say someone doesn't have a life-changing encounter. Just imagine that we get a comment on one of our videos that says, I went to a Chuck E. Cheese and saw the ghost of Ronald Reagan playing skee ball. What would be the initial gut reaction to that?
She's crazy.
Yeah, the person is crazy and full of crap. The vast majority of people understand that disbelief will be that initial reaction. But that isn't just dealing with someone saying, I don't believe you. There's a whole stigma that comes with it. You know, that person is a liar. That person is crazy. That person is a crazy liar. Nobody wants to get that kind of label.
Nope.
I believe that most people would not want to risk getting that label for something unbelievable that they can't prove.
Yeah.
Now,
especially in these day and times, you need proof, or people are always going to dispute it. Even if you have proof, people are still going to dispute it.
Yeah, probably. And finally, if the ghost of Andy Kaufman tickles your taint while you're standing in line at White Castle, who does it hurt to keep quiet? What's the
Nobody.
worst that could happen?
You're at White Castle.
Andy
What
Kaufman.
could go wrong?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just what's going to happen. Andy Kaufman's ghost is going to keep tickling random people's taints until he gets tired of it. You know, he'll move on from tickling people's taints to, you know, ghost licking people's eyelashes. There's no harm in not telling anyone about your ghost experience if it's not physically harming you. I mean, there's more to lose than there is to gain by telling anybody. What you're saying.
Kind of like a weird fetish you may have. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't really do any good to tell anybody about it. It's not going to benefit you in any way if you go out to the rooftops and, you know, say, hey, I like it whenever somebody sticks their fingers in my ear and tells me, you know, that I look like a young Jack Palance. So.
It's very specific. Have you had the conversation before?
No. If you notice, I had that delay trying to think of some old actor. Now, none of that is me trying to convince people to not talk about their ghost experience. It seems like it. I'm just kind of explaining on why I think as a whole most people wouldn't come forward. I mean, that's just the reasons, you know, me just trying to understand. So, in conclusion, if you see something, say something, as long as it won't bother you when people say that you're a crazy liar. You can tell us. We'll listen. You tell us about your paranormal experiences in our comments, and I promise that I might think you're crazy or lying or a crazy liar, but I won't say it in the comments. Our audience is far too small to run any of you off. We want you all to stay. So no matter what you tell me about your paranormal experience, I'll be like, holy moly, tell me more, please. And I'll be really interested in it. I promise.
Yeah. Well, with that said, and with the internet having a safe space for anybody, you can find a group of people who has the same experiences, and you don't feel so bad about telling them.
No, Jason.
After you tell us, of course, in the comments.
We need
and then
the
you
engagement.
Could go tell them, and then tell everybody to come over and listen to us.
They won't believe you either. You stick with us. You stick with us. And if you do choose to tell us about about your experience in our comments, thank you for your bravery. Unless in fact you are a crazy liar. In that case, stop muddying up the waters for everybody else. You can admit you're a crazy liar in our comments as long as you keep commenting so that we get all those engagement points for the algorithm.
We want to see all the lies.
Yeah. Speaking of people getting screwed over for speaking out about paranormal experiences, that leads us to today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about an allegedly haunted area in Colorado known as the Black Forest.
Okay.
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh.
Actually, we're going to talk about a specific haunting in that area, but it sounds so much cooler whenever I word it that way. You know, who's going to the haunting of a log cabin? You know, doesn't have the same impact.
They don't.
Black Forest in Black Forest, Colorado, which that's why I'm wearing my Lucifer hoodie, is an unincorporated community in El Paso County. It's about 26 miles northeast of Colorado Springs. It got the name Black Forest because it has dense growths of ponderosa pines. You know, those really dark green pines that they got up there. It made the news back in 2013 when it got burned up in a really bad wildfire that destroyed over 500 homes and killed 2 people.
Yikes.
No good. The authorities investigated the cause of the fire, only concluding that it was not natural. After executing search warrants and interviewing people, they never reported a suspect or a clear cause to the fire, so it's still an unsolved mystery.
Can you hold 1 second? When they solve fires, I think that's actually more impressive in a sense than solving some crimes as far as a human doing it. A human crime, like how a fire started, where it originated from. That's especially a forest fire. I mean, you have a lot of room to search.
Well, there's I'm not saying it's not impressive, but they've been able to do that for a really long time, a lot more effectively than, they can with murders, because they, we could only do blood typing and DNA testing in the past, like 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, for the blood typing part. But whenever it comes to fires, they were always kind of, not all, but for a long time, they've been able to track like whenever an accelerant was used and or where it originated, and being able to trace it from that. I mean, it is impressive. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's a lot more impressive when somebody finds like a skin cell under a fingernail than
well, that's impressive too, of course.
Here's the spot that a bunch of gasoline was dumped at the middle of this fire. I mean, you could track a fire out. You can be like, okay, it started here, winds blew there, and it started here. So, I mean, it leaves you a nice big trail.
Yeah, it just reminds me of that movie Backdraft, how they kind of, I won't say glorified the position, but how they really gave you a behind the scenes look, if you will, on how it all worked.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody appreciates that 30-year-old reference. Good job.
It holds up. It holds up.
Yeah. Well, as awful and apparently interesting to Jason as that fire might be, I'm not here to talk about the Black Forest or the fire. I'm here to talk about the Lee family. Steve Lee was a long-haul trucker from Louisiana. In 1991, Steve, along with his wife Beth and their 2 sons, moved into a very nice log cabin in Black Forest. And whenever I say log cabin, I don't want you thinking of Abraham Lincoln log cabin. This is more like discreet millionaire log cabin. I mean, it is an awesome looking house. I saw it. Everything I was reading was like log cabin, and then I later watched some stuff on it. I was like, holy shit, that house is nice. It's like, I want to live there. I don't care how about the ghosts. Shortly after moving in, they began experiencing some odd phenomena. They saw lights that would zip around the rooms like lasers. Along with these strange lights, they also saw strange shadows in the house. Woo. They would hear sounds like someone was stomping on their roof, along with hearing other sounds like chains rattling, which, the chains rattling thing, all I could think of is like Charles Dickens. I'm just like, that's a very old reference. They got like a really retro ghost. It's like arguing. He's like, the classics are always the best. After hearing the noise, they would go outside and they would see that no one was on the roof. And they said that they, no matter where they looked, they never could find what was making the chain rattling sounds. They couldn't find the old school British ghost that's sitting there like, oh, you must rattle the chains like this. You're not doing it correctly. Anyway. Furthermore, they called the El Paso County Sheriff's Department to report what they thought was a break-in or an attempted break-in. I mean, you hear people stomping around on your roof. Pretty logical assumption.
Uh-huh.
The cops never found any evidence of a break-in. Eventually, they said that they woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of orchestra music. Again, they could not figure out where this was coming from. So, I mean, that's kind of again, I'm thinking a British ghost.
Yeah. Playing Mozart or something.
Yeah, Madame Butterfly is my favorite opera. Rattle your chains. There we go. Quite good. All right. They claim that various appliances and their lights would turn off and on by themselves. The entire family also said that they smelled a very strange chemical smell that was so strong that it would occasionally burn their eyes and throats. Wow. It was like, ew. Yeah. Every member of the family experienced these incidents, and it got to the point where it was happening daily. Then they came across something new when they had some film developed. The photos taken in and around the house had strange beams of light, foggy shapes, orbs, and the occasional translucent face.
Ooh, just cool.
Hanging around in their pictures. Steve's response was, well, something is obviously wrong with this camera. So he went and bought a new camera. It still happened. So he bought another new camera. It is still happening. He went and borrowed somebody else's camera. It was still happening. All the photos still kept coming up, messed up with these weird little foggy shapes, streaks of light, orbs, crazy stuff.
No matter how many times you take the pregnancy test, if it's positive, and if you take it again and it's positive, you keep taking it. It's not going to eventually be negative. You're like, whew.
Take more Tylenol. Take it again. Take some more Tylenol. Piss on it again.
You're like, you keep redoing the test so you get the results you want, and then you're like, okay, I'm okay with that.
I can't say that though. I was like 15 years old. I was dating a fairly thick girl, and she was popping diet pills or whatever. And then she was late, and I was like, oh no. She's like, should I stop taking the diet pills? So I'm like, no, keep on. You go right on ahead.
Protective.
Not a good person. I never claimed to be, though.
That's 15-year-old Darrell. That's 30 years ago.
Don't remind me.
Okay.
Well, Steve wanted to figure out what was going on. I mean, obviously his house was not being very photogenic. He did not want to believe that any of it was paranormal. He was like, no, this ain't ghosts. I want to figure out who is messing with my family. So he goes and he buys and hooked up a surveillance system and security system that had like motion detectors. So he geared the house up to figure out who is fucking with him.
He's really trying to debunk it. He don't want to believe.
Exactly. The surveillance cameras did not catch any people messing around their house. It did capture strange streaks of light, orbs, translucent faces, and a video that I saw that had like this pulsating ball of light that was just floating around. And I will admit, if that's a fake, it is a really good fake. I mean, especially really good for the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Very true.
Of course, by now, Steve would have to accept that his house was haunted. This is a stubborn man. He bought more surveillance cameras because those were obviously broken like the other ones. So he got more expensive ones this time because he does. If you spend more money on it, it'll obviously start filtering the ghost shit out.
Of course.
He also hired a private investigator because after 45 to 60 reports to the sheriff's department about possible break-ins, the cops stopped responding.
Yeah.
No. Anytime I hear about law enforcement that does this, where they're like, "Yo, they kept calling all the time, so we stopped going." Bullshit. You cut that shit out. Every person that you think is crazy is still a person that pays your salary. You're employed by the people, motherfucker. You show up. I don't care what you keep showing up. That's your job. Because I mean, there's so many true crime things where they're like, "Well, yeah, we quit going out there because, well, they just keep having these domestic disputes, but it was never amount to anything until he smeared her guts all over the window and like raped her dog." So, yeah, cops, do your fucking job. You okay?
I got to throw the dog in it. What the dog do?
I don't know. Maybe that was the reason they broke up. Maybe he drank all the guy's beer. I don't know.
Shut your yapping little mouth up. Yeah. Do something to yap about. Oh, man.
All told, the Lees spent around $30,000 trying to figure out what has happened. And this is 1990s $30,000, which
like $1 million.
Is probably like, yeah, I don't know, probably not that much, but still a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
According to Beth, that $30,000 was their savings, the kids' college fund, and every single thing they could scratch together.
Oh my God!
They had
to prove it right.
Yeah, if they had this issue about 30 years too soon, if they would have moved in there later, they probably would have been able to get a GoFundMe started. Help me catch my ghosts,
or a TV show come there.
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Also, if it was in the modern time, they'd be able to post it on YouTube or TikTok and get monetized.
Uh-huh.
Well, they could if they could get around the confusing, horrible, nonsensical piece of shit algorithm.
Eat shit.
Getting mad at the algorithm reminds me of times when I used to get mad at computers, the old big tower ones, because what I always wanted was to have like some little thing you could stick on the side of your computer, and so whenever it's going slow or acting up, you could hit that little thing on the side and it would go ow, so that you'd feel like you're accomplishing something.
Yeah, inflicting harm on the machine.
We get mad at the algorithm, and it's going to be like, I detected they said algorithm 7 times. We're going to bury this video under all the bullshit. So,
yeah, all the cat videos, all the people watching people open stuff. Stupid crap.
Stop telling people better stuff that they could be watching.
I don't understand watching somebody opening a gift. You know what it is. Why are you watching them open it?
I remember there was one time I was wanting to watch some instructions on how to use something, because that's one of my favorite ways to use YouTube is like, I don't know how to do this. I need to learn how to do this.
Yep.
And the guy like did this whole thing about him opening the thing that I already bought. And said, "Oh yeah, no, here's the instructions," and he sets it on. There's this and that. And I'm like, fast forward. What the fuck is that? I don't get it. It's like somebody's like, my parents never buy me anything. I just like people opening stuff.
Wow, look at those instructions.
Back to the Lees. In 1995, things were still happening. So it's been 4 years, and no matter what they try, they're not able to figure out what the hell's going on.
So no physical harm. It's just stuff they're hearing and seeing around the house.
Well, I mean, physical harm comes with that chemical smell whenever it pops up.
Okay.
But not, it's not like it. It's not like the one we did about the neighborhood in Texas where, like, someone turned up dead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, furthermore, they didn't have any more money to throw at their various solutions and tech to try to find answers. So they did the only option you really had back in the 90s. They called the TV show Sightings. Sightings was part of that awesome era of the 90s whenever TV had all of these things that were about real life mysteries, not reality shows. It was about real life stuff. It wasn't you'll just get putting a camera on somebody. We had sightings, unsolved mysteries, America's Most Wanted, Rescue 911, and then towards the end there's that beyond belief fact or fiction where they would show different ones and then tell you if it was bullshit or not at the end.
Yeah. You like
So much fun.
Cops?
Cops was more of a reality show, and it wasn't. I never really got into it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now, for any of you kids out there, remember, us old folks didn't have the internet to just search up cryptids or UFOs or anything else that was kind of real life creepy. So these shows would hit us with these real life mysteries and horrors and get us all sorts of creeped out.
Yeah.
I mean, you would watch a show and then you would just have to sit with it and think about it because we didn't carry distraction machines in our pockets.
Yeah.
It'd be some of the scariest shit I ever saw on TV as a kid was whenever a TV show would like reenact a crime or stuff from a haunting or an alien abduction. They always made that stuff creepy as hell. Super creepy. I mean, I was afraid of clowns because of a reenactment on hard copy. They reenacted this crime that I've watched true crime stuff on it now. But back then when it was still unsolved, all they knew was someone dressed like a clown, knocked on the door, lady opened the door, clown shot the lady. And they reenacted it. And I remember watching it. They've shown it in like black and white. And you see a door open and there's a clown doing happy things. And then he pulls out a fucking gun and just at the camera. And I'm like 8 or 9 years old. And I'm like, oh my God. that did more damage for me on clowns than Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Poltergeist. I mean, Poltergeist, Pee-wee's Big Adventure laid the foundation, but that criminal reenactment for hard copy
drove it home, baby.
Yeah, and I was afraid of clowns for a pretty good while.
A long time.
I shed loose of it. I think some of it was whenever my dad intentionally tried to scare me once by dressing up like a scary clown, and then later on I dressed up like a scary clown, and one of my nieces was not afraid of me at all and loved it, and I was like, well, okay, I can't be afraid of clowns anymore.
Well, you overcame your fear. I am very proud of you. I, for one, is still trembling in mine.
You're such a little bitch.
Hey, man. Every day there's a new story about another rat doing something even more crazy and scary, and it just, once again, drives home that point.
I never hear any stories about rats doing anything scary
I have a newsletter.
Crazy.
I get a newsletter in my email about rats. Be a watch out for rats. Scary stories newsletter.
Wow, you're like a ex-girlfriend that's stalking her ex-boyfriend on social media. It's like, I want to be upset.
They're so scary. They're so big and gross.
Back to 90s paranormal TV shows. Sightings was a good one, and I liked it a lot because it was all aliens, Bigfoot, and ghosts. It was all the creepy, crazy stuff.
That's the Holy Trinity?
The Holy Trinity of paranormal, I guess.
Yeah.
You can find the episode that has the segment, which it's like a 10-minute segment, I think, from that Sightings episode on YouTube. And I watched it. And you get to see some of the pictures and videos that Steve Lee took. Now, like I said earlier, the video with that little wibbly wobbly light thing was pretty dang cool. But on the show, they have a special effects guy review the pictures, and he couldn't find anything indicating that it was faked. I mean, so if those photos were altered or faked, Steve did a good enough job to fake out a guy that made fake stuff for a living.
Yeah, we barely had VHS tapes and camcorders then, so faking something
we didn't
that magnitude.
Barely. They've been around for a while. We were teetering. We already had CDs and were teetering on the edge of DVDs.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, they weren't that far along where they can fake something like that. Like now, I see stuff on
Uh,
Facebook or whatever. I'm like, holy crap! I can't tell if that's real or not.
no, people fake photographs all the time back in the day. There's all sorts of really good fakes, but they are fakes that you can see. Like, I mean, hell, there's some I think even from like the 20s and 30s.
It's crazy.
Faking photographs has been going on for a long time. Now, uh, in my opinion, if his photographs and videos are fake, it is better than anything anybody puts out nowadays. And they have so many more resources. You could do so much crazy editing shit on a computer or on
Mm-hmm.
a hell, even on a phone than what people could do with just videotape back then. Which I mean, editing videotape, I mean, would not be as easy as editing on like film.
On film, yeah, we could just splice and add stuff in.
And what he was doing was not just better than the ghost videos from TikTok and YouTube. I mean, he's whatever. If it was fake, it is like Hollywood level fake. Now, Sightings brought a camera crew, ghost hunting equipment, and a couple of psychics to the Lee's house. From that segment, there's really only two things that came out of it that I think really support the Lee's claims. The videos and pictures that I mentioned earlier that were reviewed by the special effects guy was one. The second is the show's own recording equipment caught like weird stuff and temperature fluctuations. So they were sitting there saying, okay, cold spots here and all sorts of stuff. So they were able to pick that up. The rest of the episode is just trying to be compelling TV. I mean, the psychics claim that they sense presences and do like a cold reading thing and say that it was the ghost of a family friend's son. If you want me to believe you psychics, don't come to the person that you're psychicking and hit them up with a series of questions. The second you're doing that, you're just trying to draw information out of the subject. If you want me to
Yeah.
believe you, you walk up somebody, straight up tell them something that no one else can know without asking, like, hey, there's a guy named Frank behind you. He says that, one time he caught you with sticking your thumb up your butt and smelling it afterwards. And then that person be like, no, God, how Frank is here? Whatever.
I swear I didn't smell it.
You tell Frank he can go to hell. Anyway.
You're supposed to knock.
The episode. Stop watching me, you fucking old pervert. I'm glad you're dead.
You said I was home alone.
Then the episode goes full drama when one of the crew members has a breakdown. She starts saying that she feels an overwhelming presence and starts having a panic attack. The psychics, of course, like jump in on this, and they're telling him, "Oh, yes, there's the presence of a large man behind you." Oddly enough, that did not calm the lady down at all. It didn't help ease her panic attack.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, jeez, just a giant ghost behind me. Whew. Yeah. He keeps putting his finger in your crack. Pull your pants up. Whatever. This was before low-rise jeans, so actually women's cracks didn't show back then. They wore their pants like 4 inches above their belly buttons.
Yes, they did.
All right. When it was all said and done, the Lees did not get a solid explanation for what was happening in their home from the TV show. However, they did continue to search for answers. And since the sightings didn't give them solid answers, they decided to turn to the government. They reached out to their state senator, Charles Duke. The state senator visited the Lees' home and took his own photographs. According to Duke, he did in fact see some anomalies in his photographs, as well as saying that odd things were happening while he was there. He went on to send a request to the FBI to investigate the Lee's home and find out what the hell's going on. And the FBI declined, saying, sounds like it's Poltergeist. I don't know if that was them joking or not.
Wrong phone number, wrong department.
I mean, it could have been that. Oh, yeah, no, that's totally a Poltergeist. We can't help you. I mean, unless that poltergeist is like trying to embezzle some money or something. I mean, it's out of our hands, and they better not be trafficking any prostitutes. We'll get them for that too. Uh, Following this, the Lees eventually gave up trying to get answers. Sometime it's kind of hard to nail down, but it's possibly after 1998, the Lees sold the home. And since then, it has exchanged hands a few times, but there have been no new reports from any of the subsequent owners about any issues. I did see on YouTube a video tour by a realtor selling the house that seemed to be steering into all the paranormal stuff.
Yeah, people want to live
Their
there.
video, what?
People want to live there.
I guess, but the realtor's video ends with some photos that they claim to have taken while shooting the video that had more orbs, like they were talking about, and like Steve had in his pictures. But to counteract what you said, I found a comment on Reddit from the sometime in the past few years telling people do not go to that house because the new owners don't want anything to do with any of the haunted bullshit, and they will shoot first and ask questions later.
Damn.
Yeah, so don't try to check them out. As for the Lees, they've kept off the radar. The last comment that I can see from Steve is that he still doesn't believe it was ghosts. He believes it was some sort of government experiment.
I just quit.
Funny enough, well, the state senator that visited him agrees that Charles Duke, he thinks that it was probably some sort of government hanky-panky. I mean, which leaves me wondering, why would the government do this? You know, was the house too close to some experimental site like in that movie The Mist? Or did the government just not like Steve Lee? They're just like, oh no, especially fuck this guy.
Yeah.
give me some of that ghost gas. He cut me off in traffic. Fuck him.
Yeah, see that log cabin of his?
Go get it. It's too nice. Well, who knows? The one thing I do know.
No, I don't like that answer.
Well, it be what it be. The one
Why
thing
can't
I
the
do know.
simplest answer be the one they accept? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Why don't you let me fucking finish and you might fucking find out. Are you done?
I guess it's delay is kind of hard.
Jesus. Say, I just want to know. I'm trying to tell you. I just want to know. Fucker, I'm trying to tell you. I just wish I knew. You see what I got to deal with, people?
Oh.
The one thing I do know is this guy sunk a lot of money into trying to figure out what was going on, and he never profited from it. He has over 3,000 pictures and 400 videos, and he's not using any of them to make money. They just moved on with their lives. That was it. And it's hard for me to punch holes in something like this when the person, that experienced this never made any money from it. And if anything, it just cost them a shit ton of money. It had a way bigger cost than any kind of gain that they got from it. I mean, and they won't even release all the pictures. I mean, there's some websites that have like lots of the pictures, and I don't think it's been updated for like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years or something like that. But yeah, he's got like all this footage that, I mean, seriously, with that much footage, he could probably put that shit on YouTube, and every ghost hunter person out there is going to sit there and watch that a bunch of times, and then he'll end up with 1 million fucking subscribers while we're still sitting here with 160 busting our asses doing research on guys like him that can sit there and just put it on there, and he's not. So I kind of buy into that. Whatever was going on, he wasn't doing it.
Did he ever say why he wouldn't believe it's a ghost? Like why he was so gung ho on proving that part wrong? Some people just
don't believe in ghosts, man.
Were they religious people? Did it say?
I can't remember if they were or not. I don't
Hmm.
know. I mean, I did some research directly into them, but like I said, they kind of dropped off the radar. And I mean, everything that I saw after that's not really worth sharing, or shouldn't, probably shouldn't be.
Hmm.
So because it doesn't have anything to do with what they were going through at the time. Um, and whenever I say that, I'm not being trying to be elusive, like somebody got arrested or anything. It's not that. If that was the case, I'd be like, oh yeah, they're con men. It wasn't anything like that. It's just they're regular life stuff. Um, I will wrap this up with one more theory that was put out there by a Hopi shaman. He claims that the house was built on a rainbow vortex. I searched to see if I could find anything about in Hopi lore regarding a rainbow vortex. I never find anything. The only thing I ever come up with is this whole thing saying a rainbow shaman said that there's a rainbow vortex. And according to this internet alleged Hopi shaman, a rainbow vortex is a place where the land of the living and the land of dead converge. Since it opens there, ghosts and people can interact.
Okay.
Uh, I I don't know. I believe the
Not.
family on this one. I mean, that they were going through something weird. As for what they were dealing with, I don't know. Probably ghosts. I
It
mean,
is weird
like,
that it just stopped.
well,
That we know of.
maybe. I mean, if one of those psychics wasn't full of shit, and the ghost did have like a personal tie to them, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think that's more likely than the government harassing a family just for shiggles. I mean,
Hmm.
I hate the government and all, but I can't imagine them being able to focus that hard on a normal family and not get busted. I mean, the government's terrible at hiding shit. And well, unless they're really good at hiding shit and everything that we get leaked out is just stuff to distract us while they're hiding the good shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, what do
Oh,
you think it is? Was it ghosts? Was it bored government scientists? Was it a family hoping to get famous at all costs? Let us know in the comments. Hell, tell us your paranormal experience. Wanted to remind you of that. And like I said, even if we think you're full of shit, we'll only think it, but we won't say it.
that's right. Oh,
All right, now you can ask me some questions. I've presented you with all the data that I have,
oh
and so you're
no,
now you
it's
won't be stomping all over my chronology. So please.
oh no, it's an interesting story. I find it interesting in a sense where he would rather spend $30,000, $20,000 on something to prove something that he's already been proven every single time.
Man,
Like, what are you
that's
hoping for?
well. I mean, he wanted a practical. He wanted a practical and logical explanation. I mean, there are plenty of people out there that do not like things that defy
They can't
reason.
explain. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying he's an atheist. Like I said, I don't know if he is, but I mean, that's what atheists are kind of like. And you could have somebody like fart out a gold bar right in front of them, and be like it's a miracle, and they'll be like, that there's going to be some scientific explanation. Like the guy has been snorting gold glitter for 6 months, so of course he was able to fart out a gold brick. You know, or whatever. They would try. There are people that will dig and fight and claw and try to find whatever reason. And that's just kind of like a way our scientific community as a whole, anyways.
Mm.
Like whenever it comes to like established theories, things that we have gone by for decades, and as we are able to get more data with our tools and stuff like that, and it could start punching holes in that, scientists will fight tooth and nail. And I don't mean just sit there and say, oh, I'm going to counter your paper with another paper. No, it is like, oh, this person has this new set of data that is claiming that this is the actual way. Oh well, fuck him because he's a dipshit and asshole, and he's stupid. They target the scientists. They go to discredit them before they actually try to disprove the actual data.
Mm.
So that's what I kind of think is. And I mean, I'm not saying Steve Lee was an asshole or anything like that. I'm sure he was a perfectly nice guy, but I think he was probably rigid in his thought process, where he's like, I don't want ghosts to be real. I refuse to think they're real. some IRS agent is pumping my house full of hallucinogens or whatever the hell he thought.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's also interesting, like you said before, though, with them not wanting to make money off of it. Most people who see a ghost, they have one video, one picture that can be construed in so many different ways, and that's their claim. And this guy has 400 videos and thousands of pictures, and
he's not even putting them all out there. I mean,
yeah,
he's put some of them out there, but like I said, they closed that part of turn the page on that part of their life, and they're just like done with it. It's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I mean, and I see some more logic in that when it comes to his concerns about it being a government thing. Because do you really want to put all that out there and the government be like, oh, well, funny thing's going to happen tomorrow. You're going to have a heart attack, or you're just going to disappear, or you're just going to suddenly become really depressed and jump off of something. So, I mean, I could see why they're not really trying to put it out there if he really truly thinks that the government was doing something weird. I just don't think our government has anything so cool that can make floating balls of light. Maybe they do, but I mean, I don't have a lightsaber, or a hoverboard. If I had a lightsaber and a hoverboard, I would believe the government could do that sort of stuff. But until then, I think they're still, operating on Windows XP and tin cans with string.
Yeah, still keeping files in mountains.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, join us next time when Jason, if he isn't hunting for a pretend ghost that the U.S. government is gaslighting him with to distract him from his feud with the post office. That's the last post office joke. If he's done with that, he'll tell us some stuff that'll make us say, Waywut. All right. Well, bye, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Waywut. This show's available on YouTube, Good Pods, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. We love to hear from you. Please comment on what you just listened to, pass along episode ideas, or just talk to us at Waywut Podcast in our Facebook group or on TikTok, Instagram, or X. Again, we really appreciate you joining us. Come back again to hear about some stuff that will make you say, Waywut.